Today is October 11th or 12th, whenever you are listening to this, and we are days or hours away from the ALCS. We've got a lot to discuss. Let's talk Yanks. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Talking Yanks. We hope you are excited, a tiny bit nervous, but mostly hyped up for this American League Championship Series. 15 teams started the season. 13 of them ended it. 2 remain in the American League. One is the Yankees. The other is the Houston Astros. 2 juggernauts on a collision course all season are about to crash, and we all get to witness it, and we all get to put our hearts on the line. I am excited. My name's John Boy. I'm coming to you from New Jersey, and I've got my co-host, Jake, coming to you from Denver. It is Jake's birthday. It is Gio Urshela's birthday. We're all growing older each and every day. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm doing all right. I wish 20-year-old Jake here was to get drunk and go crazy and hype the people, but 30-year-old Jake is very straightforward, very serious, very well-spoken. And, if you've been following us on many platforms, you know I've been living at the DMV the past couple days. I'm not going to talk about that because this is a hype episode. Me and Gio Urshela are both slick-fielding third basemen that have backgrounds as soccer goalies. We're a lot of similarities. Both cute, I think, in our own right.
Yeah.
Like, you'd never look at either of us and be like, that's a hot boy.
I think Gio's handsome.
I think he's cute.
When we met him in person, he was pretty handsome.
He was slick. I mean, he was in a tux. Like,
yeah, he looked good.
Tux is a tough outfit to be cute in, but
I think Gio's more attractive than you.
Easily.
Okay. We're all there then.
At least we all landed on that same page together.
Happy 30th.
Happy 30th.
Well, the first half of this show is going to be Sharp Stats with Katie Sharp. And if you are a new listener, subscriber, and you haven't been listening all season, Katie Sharp is the head of the Talkin' Yanks analytics department. She brings you the sharpest stats and a little more knowledge to supplement the what you see with your eyes.
And Sharp Stats will be a little bit of a crescendo today. It's going to start off and you're not going to be super excited with some of the numbers you hear, but at the end of it, you'll be more confident.
Yes. This is true. It's going to be a tough matchup. So anyway, I'm going to throw it to Sharp Stats right away, and then we will be back to have a little more emotion-based chat. Here you go. Well, we already recorded it for the patrons watching, so you'll have to tune into the actual podcast to hear this section. So this is a faux break. Faux break.
You're on the faux train, huh?
Well, I just know how to spell it.
Sure. PHO.
FAUX.
It's like phony. PHO.
If it was short for phone. That's good, Jake.
Yeah, see? You thought you had it.
Is that what you really thought it was?
That's boxing out. I'm abbreviating phony. I'm starting a trend.
Just a new, not the normal faux.
Not foul. Fuck that. Faux, baby. You're phony, bro. You faux.
It is. FAUX is pronounced faux.
Oh, I'm pronouncing it foul.
So you're intentionally...
we're changing it.
Oh, okay.
We're evolving. You phony, bro. You faux.
Okay. All right. Everyone go tweet at Katie Sharp. Tell her thank you for coming on as always, and hopefully we get to hear back from her as we go. If you're new to Talking Yanks, that was your first time tuning in, She's been given awesome insight and stats the entire time. Been a lot of fun. Jake, where are you at? Where are you at with this series?
I'll start off hot. I'll
Okay.
bring. I'm not going to ease into this with, well, Houston's a good team. So are the Yankees. You're going to see great baseball out there. It's going to come down to a few plays. Greinke's a bum. I'm out on Greinke. His recent playoff numbers are garbage. The stuff he's doing in the press conferences irk me, and in a way that, I mean, you've seen me every day over the baseball season that you don't see that reaction out of me. I think, yes, I mean, I know the guy has had some anxiety issues and some mental stuff, but if you come into press conferences just wanting to look like, I don't know, you're coming down off like meth or something like that, like the dude, like you can still answer questions. The guy normally does answer questions in the season, usually with like almost a silly twang on the end. Now he's not even like addressing the question. He's just saying, I don't know, I'll be there. And it's just like, dude, know that it is a moment and know that it's going to be a moment. And I don't know. He got knocked around his first start. His last couple playoff starts previous to that, also not impressive. Tampa knocked him around 3.2, 6 earned runs. He had an okay start against the Dodgers, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 2 homers and 5 walks in that game. And then his start before that in 2017 was 3.2, 4 earned runs to Colorado. So since 2015, he's got 3 playoff starts that are very poor. I think that's fair. And just everything he's showing me, I'm not impressed. So Greinke, him starting game 1, and I know I saw your face just give me the, like, you're leaning too hard that now Greinke's going to shove. And he might. It's baseball. We saw the Braves give up 10 in the first. But
I was going to say that you're talking about Greinke the way I talked about Dobnak, and one's a Hall of Famer and one's an Uber driver.
One might be a Hall of Famer, and might not be after this playoff start.
Ooh.
I don't. Greinke's clearly the weak link. I think there's also something to be. Greinke normally comes in on the Diamondbacks, not necessarily on the Dodgers, but to a degree, he was the dude, and he is so clearly not the dude. It's Cole and Verlander. I think Greinke's in a bad spot. Him starting game 1, I think, is a huge thing. That being said, like it doesn't mean the game's over. Like I don't think we're just walking into Houston, getting one, and calling it. Their bats are really good. We still don't know who's starting game 1. And yeah, I don't know. The thing that I have been saying a lot that's not as cocky, confident, dumb, whatever you want to talk about what I just said, Garrett Cole potentially having only 1 start in this series, unless it goes 7, and that 1 start is going to be the first game of the ALCS at Yankee Stadium. I think that's impactful, and he could shut us up real quick. But I don't know. I think there's a couple. The Rays taking them 5, I think that truly is impactful to this series.
Yeah, like I said on Talking Baseball, what was my analogy? That like they loosened the pickle jar, and now maybe the Yankees can open it up. Because what they did, taking it to game 5, definitely left a mark. And I'm happy that Greinke's first, and he's the first pitcher. But if the Yankees don't get to Greinke, and then you're down 1 game with Verlander and Cole looming, that sucks. So it's a lot of pressure to win game 1 for the Yankees right now, and we're in a good position to do it. Because, I think, I'd love to see Greinke on a road game. I would really like to see that. So we'll see how it goes. Anything else? We haven't gotten the roster yet, so we're going to that. Do you have if you had to have a sleeper of who's going to carry us? Would you choose someone? Like, would you choose Stanton or Gary? Like, do you think it's going to reverse? The guys that didn't have a lot of hits are going to reverse, or you stick with Didi, Judge, Glaber?
I'd say Didi's definitely the wild card, right? Like Didi got it going, but the Twins thing is kind of the Twins thing, and it's just like, okay. Didi's who I would label the wild card. I think Judge is locked in. I don't know, man. I think it's a different guy every day. I think that top of the lineup, like DJ LeMahieu, is going to give you a good at bat. Like we've seen that for 6 months now. I'm not worried about him. You'd love to see Gary get going. I guess that's a guy that right now, since Gary's come back, which again, small sample, but we haven't seen Gary Sanchez be Gary Sanchez. That was the guy that was insane. He was leading Major League Baseball in home runs for a little bit this year. He has the injuries. He's also a catcher. Gary Sanchez, I guess that's the guy at Circle who, in the 2017 series, he had some success that series. So Gary's the guy that if he's locked in, I think I'd be sitting back, Saturday night being like, okay, like that would be huge.
I would love Gary to have a big series.
You?
Yeah, I think I'd be pretty happy about it. Are you worried at all about tipping pitches? Paxton got caught tipping pitches when he was in Houston. They just got Glasnow tipping pitches. It seems to be something that they're really good at picking up. I'm sure they're going through the footage like crazy, trying to find anything. I think Tanaka throws too many pitches. It might be hard. Paxton throws 3. Are you worried? Are you worried about this? Do you think the Yankees need to be cautious, change anything?
I have a good spin zone for this. I'll go blessing in disguise a little bit because Paxton got caught by them earlier this year. The game that just happened, Glasnow, nobody's looked like they clearly knew. Even when we scored runs off Tyler Glasnow, it was infield single. It was a walk, and then there was a hit. They were just roping line drive after line drive. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're Boone, that's something you have to be wary of coming into this. I think if you see, 3 straight whack, 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 that maybe they've picked up on something. Maybe it's just 3 good hitters in a row, but you definitely have to be conscious of that. But yeah, I mean, obviously the Yankees are on high alert for that with Paxton, and Glasnow just happened. I know the one question I have.
I think it's to stay there. I think that it's a blessing in disguise that this just was so obvious that they had Glasnow's number, and it's so obvious that they went into the game with the nugget of like some scout said, "Hey, we caught this. Check his glove," and then they were like, "Yep, that's what it is." Because now the Yankees can really do some internal. Okay, what do we have on us? What could they possibly? Because this is something the Astros do. They're going to be doing it to us. So I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, and so I think that's some Yankee stuff. I think Houston-wise, this was the only question I had coming in because I normally like stumbling into things, and I've never prepared myself for anything in my life. Who on Houston are you saying like, yo, that dude can't beat us?
Reddick, even though he's my best friend,
right?
He's having an awful playoffs, so like, don't let him get hot. I think Brantley's not doing that well either. Like you mean like who do I like?
So I mean, I'll just show you my mental space. Like, if Altuve's right, it is what it is, and you're gonna have to pitch around him sometimes, or you're gonna have to be super careful. Like, just respect the hell out of Altuve. I think Springer's kind of the same way from what we've seen from his postseason experience. For me, right now, it's Jordan Alvarez and it's Correa. Correa's had some back stuff this year. He hasn't had a full Correa season. I think right now, and maybe what this is for me is the battle of the 7th hole hitters, because I believe Correa's hitting 7th, and so has been Gary. 2 guys that could be in the heart of any major league lineup are hitting 7th. And then Jordan Alvarez, I just think he's a young kid, and he's a little bit of like bonus points. I should start out. He's been great. But for what this Houston team has been, Jordan Alvarez is, I mean, he's their like cleanup hitter. He's this power lefty. He's kind of what they didn't have, and now they have it. So for me, he's young. These are going to be the biggest games of his career. I want Jordan Alvarez locked up this series.
Okay. I was trying to pull up some stats of who was hot versus the who'd they just play? The Rays?
Rays.
And who wasn't? I'm trying to see by guys that played 5 games, that were actually out there doing it. Marisnik got into 4 games. Is he a defensive replacement?
Yeah, he's pretty special in center field. They moved Springer over to right, and yeah, he tracked down a ball. I forget if it was Game 5. I want to say maybe 8th inning of Game 5. That was he covered some space.
Okay, so I have their top 10 hitters here, in at bats, and it looks like Chirinos, he comes in late, so I'm just going to X him out. He's not.
Well, Chirinos, he's that's Cole's personal catcher.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not counting Chirinos then. So who had a terrible? George Springer had a terrible ALDS. Josh Reddick had a terrible ALDS. Carlos Correa, terrible. Michael Brantley, not good. Really, Bregman and Altuve are the guys that did really well. And then Alvarez had a pretty good ALDS. But Alvarez with a short porch, I think they got to be careful in home games. But, man, I think Altuve is the head of the snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I guess for me, it's just one of those things like, I mean, if Aaron Judge is locked in, he's locked in. And I think Jose Altuve and Bregman, they deserve that kind of respect. Like when you're going through that lineup, if those guys are coming up with runners on base, you have to be incredibly careful. If they're not, I mean, maybe a free pass isn't the worst thing. I mean, as we saw what Altuve did to Tampa in Game 5, and I mean, Bregman's one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah, it's Altuve. In 2017, he had a really good ALCS. The 3 games at Yankee Stadium, Altuve went 0 for 12.
That's because he doesn't know what pitches are coming when he's in Houston.
0 for 10. And the Yankees won all 3 of those games. So, I mean, I think if you get Altuve, if you quiet him, I think with him comes confidence, comes like passing the baton and all this. They kind of thrive off him. So I think you prioritize quieting Altuve and then hope none of the other guys get you along the way.
Yeah, and maybe that's and I guess spinning this into further conversations, Adam Ottavino, there's a lot of tough righties in this Houston lineup. I know in Minnesota you had the short leash on the walks, and arguably deservedly so. Man, if you can get that Frisbee work in this series, Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, I mean, Adam Ottavino, last series was not your A series. You haven't been completely locked in for a little bit. Dude, own it. Like, that third time through the lineup, be special Adam Ottavino.
I think that's a good pick as like who can be a difference maker. Like if out of the bullpen, if Ottavino can be 1 inning, every game or whatever games we need him, and he can like lock down those big righties, that changes the whole complexity of our bullpen and the game. So yeah, I think him finding himself is a game changer.
If by Game 3 Houston can see him coming out of the bullpen and go, God damn it, that would be nice.
And their bullpen doesn't really have anyone great out there. It's a lot of righties. They said they're going to put someone on the roster in the bullpen. I forget. He might be a lefty. As of now, Wade Miley.
Framber?
No, it was someone else. I forget who.
Framber alert?
But getting to their bullpen will be key. Get the bullpens. The Yankees want to get to their bullpen with a tie game or a lead, and they want to get to the Astros bullpen with a tie game or within a 2-run swing, and you will be happy. But you need at least 2 innings, 3 innings out of the bullpen. Yankees are rooting for bullpens. We're rooting for ours to come out. We're rooting for theirs to come out.
I like that, rooting for bullpens. If you're not familiar, they have old Toronto closer Roberto Osuna is their closer now, and he's got really good numbers. I wouldn't. It's not like he's untouchable. It's not. I don't think you have to fully get religious at the end of games. I think you just need to lock in and put together some good at bats. I mean, there's a chance if he gets knocked around this series, that Will Harris, who had a better season, could jump him in theory as their closer. He relieved him as the closer in one of the Tampa games. Davinsky hasn't been special this year, and Ryan Presley had the incredible start to the season and then has come back down to earth a little bit. All righties, and this kind of spun us on our voicemail episode to, I mean, should Luke Voigt be on this roster? Because I don't know if there's a spot for him.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. They started to come down on the Hicks things a little bit. If he's not on this, he'll be on the World Series roster and stuff like that. So I don't know. Brad Peacock, that's what I was thinking. It is very highly likely.
He's a righty, I believe.
That Brad Peacock will be one of the guys that they discuss putting on. So that's a new pitcher, but yeah, I think he's a righty as well. So they have no lefties. Yeah, they have all righties. So what's that mean? Is that an actionable item for the Yankees to plan around, or no, not at all, right?
No, it's and maybe this is where we should land. Aaron Hicks. What is Aaron Hicks? And if we're getting mowed down by righties, he's the only guy that you could turn to and be like, well, let's give this dude a shot because he's an impact lefty bat.
Yeah. I know he changes it up. If Hicks can play, and if Hicks is healthy, he's on the roster. I'd put him on the roster. If Hicks is healthy, put him on the roster.
If the bats
worst case, he doesn't play, Jake. Worst case, he's Tyler Wade and just sits on the bench. And so who loses in that? No one loses with Hicks being Tyler Wade's role. There's no loss. But the upside is his arm, his defense, and if he's seeing pitches well, his eye, and then if he can swing a little. I mean, there's a lot of upside. There's no downside.
We're assuming they're going to run out the same lineup because they swept the Twins and the lineup looks good.
Yeah.
With the Hicks news, and assuming he makes the roster, and again, we don't know what they saw. Aaron Boone was catching the balls at third base from him the other day, which is a lot of fun. Is Gio Urshela's seat hot on the hot corner? Hello. Because we both agree that if Hicks comes in the lineup, that's the guy you got to take out.
If he comes into the starting nine, yes.
Like if Gio Urshela starts off this series 0 for 6.
Yeah, then you could put Edwin to first, Stanton to DH, Gardy to left, and Hicks to center. That would be the little merry-go-round there.
Yeah.
But I do think...
Do you think Hicks impacts this series?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Fucking why not, dude? That's what this season has been. Next man up.
Yeah.
Whoever we put out there is going to perform. Mike Ford hit walk-offs. Like, do you think, is it crazy to think, like, of course Aaron Hicks comes through? And then again, he could not even be on the roster. Who knows? But if he's on the roster and he plays, I'm not doubting that he could have a moment.
I guess that's where I'm almost calling BS on myself right now, is because I pictured Hicks sliding into the Maben role. He comes in defensive replacement in center, and maybe he gets one at bat later in the game. I'm almost calling BS on myself because it's like, if he's on the roster, treat him like Aaron Hicks, right? And that was that original Cashman quote, that it's not different than Edwin. It's not different than Gary. It's not different. He went into Schwarber, and there was someone else he name dropped that it was like, well, it's a little different, Cash. But,
yeah. No, I mean, if he's healthy, he's healthy. But I would start him off as the Cameron Maben role, replacing Stanton, and see what we got. So these games are going to be intense, man. I'm excited and nervous. I'm just ready to fucking do it. We're still a day away.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got anything else? You excited? What's your routine going to be?
I'm excited. Pre-game show, Talking Yanks. Check it out on podcast apps, or maybe that John Jangboy YouTube channel, or the Talking Yanks channel.
We should be running hot Saturday for the pre-game show. So tune in on YouTube or the podcast app. And, hey, we broke our record. Last episode was the most downloaded in the history of the show. Tell all your friends. We're in the ALCS now. Let's break the record again. We love you guys for it. And we made Show Me Your Bird shirts. Those will be out.
Yeah.
They crack me up every time. But tune in for the pregame show. We'll get going then. We'll be excited as hell. I am a ball of nervous energy. It feels... Well, what's the thought I want to say? 2017, it was so happy-go-lucky to get to the ALCS because we didn't expect anything starting that season. And it was heartbreaking to lose it, but it was like, damn, can't believe we did that. And then to not make the ALCS last year, it was embarrassing. And now I feel like, okay, let's not take this for granted. Let's get to work. Like, we gotta do business. So, game 1 versus Greinke, let's go. And Yankee fans, this is a downer. No team has ever swept the DS, swept the CS, and swept the World Series. No team has ever done that. We may have to lose 2 to win 4. So 1 game is not damning. There's going to be a loss in this series. So let's not lose our heads over 1.
Are we almost being dumb? Like, are these just 2 juggernauts, 2 great teams that this is going to be a 7-game series?
Feels that way.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't have an honest opinion on it because I think normally I would think that when 2 teams this caliber come together, I normally lean that way. I don't know. It may be a skewed view from my Yankees reality, but I think that game 4 that Tampa won was impactful.
All right, let's hope so. Thank you guys very much. We will be back whenever the game ends, and on the pregame show, and on the next pregame show, and then whenever the next game ends, you're guaranteed 4 more game recaps and game previews, so there's a lot of content to churn out. Thank you for being part of this with us. We will see you tomorrow. Go Yanks. Tell 'em, Grams. Ooh. I don't know how long that episode's going to be when we combine it together.
I think right around an hour.
Nice. Oh, Greinke won. I hope. Oh. I was daydreaming like the Yankees just fucking dominating them.
It's a bum.
No.
Mayhew single, Judge homer.
No,
next.
the whole series.
Oh.
I know it's not going to happen.
No.
But
if the Yankees can be up 2-1 after game 3, whew.
Yeah.
Because then it's Urquidy or whoever the fuck they throw out there, and then Greinke again.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good call.
Take games 1 and 2.
This is I'm a ball of energy now. Like I'm very nervous.
Good.
I like this feeling. So, damn. Jared Gott is doubting us. Help me think better. We're good, man. Yanks are a good team. Like Jake, Jake, hold on. Can you read off the Rays lineup and then read off the Yankees lineup? And that's how we should have ended the real show. But for Jared, who's doubting us, Astros just went 5 games with the Yankees.
Okay.
Or Astros won 5 games with the Rays.
With the
Read
Devil
off
Rays.
Read off the Rays
Formerly the
roster.
Devil Rays. The Devil Rays were going, and I'm getting there, but the 2 guys at the top of their lineup for yesterday's game were Austin Meadows and Tommy Pham. Two good hitters. No argument there. Then it was G-Man Choi 3-hole. Travis d'Arnaud cleanup. Travis d'Arnaud got cut from teams this year. Eric Sogard batting 5th. Avisail Garcia 6th. Joey Wendell 7. Kevin Kiermaier 8. Willie Adames 9.
Who's their 7th hitter?
It was Joey Wendell.
Who's our 7th hitter?
Gary Sanchez as of now.
Wow.
Fastest American League player to hit 100 home runs.
Andrew in the chat says there's been reports that Wade's off for Hicks, but I don't see that anywhere. Reported by one dude, Levi Luna. Sports director reporting. Hey, that could be right, but I'm not going to. I'll wait. I mean, it makes sense, that move. I would still do Voit, but it makes sense. Jake, you have any playoff superstitions?
No, I was on the field. I was the genuine baseball guy. I wasn't stepping on the line. But no, I've gotten pretty good at coming to grips with whatever I'm doing at my homestead. It doesn't have much of an effect. I guess if there's something going on, like I'm not getting up.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if I'm sitting in a seat and the Yanks have a rally going, like I'm not going to the bathroom, I'm not getting another drink.
I like playing those games, but if you were like, do you believe in them? I'd be like, no. But when we were doing the Twins game, I was doing Periscope and I was standing up, and like things went bad, and I was like, this is a bad spot. I gotta go sit down. And when I sat down, they scored a bunch of runs. So I was like, well, I did it, but I don't. It's more for fun than actually believing it. Did you hear I hate the Cardinals?
Oh yeah, dude. You're a Yankee homer. You're just like every other Yankee fan.
I feel I have strong feelings of hate for the Cardinals, according to Cardinals fans. It's news to me.
Yeah.
Some Yankee reading for your afternoon. Do the rested Yankees have an advantage in the ALCS? What history tells us. Should I click that article?
Lindsay Adler told you that.
I haven't read it yet.
Hey, dirty. Yeah, got your money. Don't you worry.
Oh, Carl, we started the chat. He wasn't ready for it. He left, went to found Wi-Fi, and now he's back. He missed the chat.
Carlito.
Jake, we have one request, and then we're going to go so I can start editing all this together.
C.
One request for you to sing When I Tip, You Hit.
Classic song. Thought it was going to be, they were asking for the Jose Altuve song. I was like, there's some sick pups in here.
No.
And it's 1, 2, 5, 6. When I tip, you hit. You put your bat up on my pitch.
30. You're there.
30.
All right. We're out.
Fire on the mountain.
Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. Chicken the road dog, bring it out, no. Granted, dog by no child, no. See you guys.